You might get bored with this basic intro on just data types. But in order to run fast, we need to learn how to walk. And that's what we are doing now. But sure, let's speed up. Let's talk about array. To define array in a Scala, we need to type array followed by the bracket or the parenthesis, and within this bracket we need to type or we need to define the elements of the array. For example, 1, 3 and 5. If we write array like this, we get the result, and the type of array is now array, then in bracket or in a box bracket the element type, I mean 1, 3 and 5. The type of 1, 3 and 5 is integer, so we need to pass two things. First, of course, the type of the array, which is the array itself, and then in a box bracket we need to define the type of element that array will hold. Consider the example where I want to define a friends variable that will hold my friend's name. Then what I need to do is I need to type first well, then a name of the variable, which is in my case friends, colon, then type, of course we are talking about array. Then in box bracket I want to hold the name of my friends, so I must need to type string, and then within array bracket I need to type, for example, Ankit, then let's say Nitin, then let's say Sankar, and yeah, this is how we can define array in a Scala. Now let's talk about second composite data type in a Scala, map. Map is a composite data type that holds data in key value pair. We need to use array like this to define this pair. So to define a map in a Scala, we need to type first map, then in bracket we need to type key, for example name, then as I mentioned we need to use this arrow, and then value, for example Bruce as a value. Let's define one more key, let's say CT, and then let's say Gotham, and then yeah, this is how we can define map in a Scala. Over here in a box bracket we need to define two types. The first type is for example key, and the second type is for a value. Let's say I want to define a month variable. That will hold, for example, 0, 1, 2, 3 as a key, and January, February, March as a value. In this case the type will be integer, for example, for the key, and string for the value. Looks boring or looks confusing. Let's type over here val, then name of the variable, which is in my case months, colon, then map. First let's define the type of the key, which is in my case int, comma, like they have over here, you see, and then type of the value, which is string, then map. And now I can define key value pair over here, for example 0, and let's have the Jan, then 1, let's say Feb, then 2, let's say March, and so on. So with this we now know how to define map in a Scala. That's it for this video. There are few things that we need to consider while working with this data type. I will talk about this consideration when it is required in future videos. So see you in the next video.